Hey there guys, BlackPanthaa here, and welcome back to Forza Horizon 2 once again, and today you're looking at the DHL van. Now, we saw this in an online road trip. If you haven't seen that, make sure you do check that out, because that was quite a funny video. But what I wanted to do today is make this thing a drift build, a very ridiculously powerful drift build as well. So, first things first, I wanted to go to this area very quickly and go for a little drive and see if I can get this thing to drift, because I want to see if it's driftable stock, even with the slow, car it is at the beginning. I'm sure we can do like a lot of engine swaps and stuff. I want to see if we can get it to slide stock. Here we go. We could somewhat get it to. It's more like literally sliding rather than actually drifting though, because it has so little power. We'll give it another go at this corner here. Here we go, here we go. It somewhat does it. It's just got like a lot more weight than I expected. I know it's a big van, but you expect it to be flimsy crap. I'm not gonna lie. I expected it to be quite a bit lighter, but then again, it's got a poop engine, so we're gonna see how it's like when we actually swap the engine out. So we shall now go to the place where we can do that. Okay, so the plan is literally swap everything out. So what have we got engine-wise in here? V8. We're going to put a V8 in it. That is crazy. I didn't think we'd be able to get a V8 in it, but wow, that's pretty impressive. What can we do aero-wise? That's a good question, actually. Oh, wow, we can actually change the front bumper on it. That is pretty cool. And that... What? Okay, what spoilers can we get? We can get a little wing on it. I'm going to put a little wing on it. It looks cool. Having a DHL van with a bloody wing on it. And rear bumper, that just literally changes it to look worse. And as for the side skirts, I'm going to keep it stock. I'm going to keep everything body-wise except putting a spoiler on it stock. Okay, so now to the actual performance upgrades. I'm going to go through all of these and make it the most powerful I possibly can. Okay, and now for the brakes, upgrade those. So we've got 669 horses so far. Let's see how much we go up when we actually finish upgrading this. I'm really interested to see that. Just that number I want to see. 669. Of course it would be that number right now, wouldn't it? So I'm going to put the weight reduction on because that's going to be like very important. It was ridiculously heavy when I drove it. Like, you expect it to be heavy, but you don't expect it to be that heavy. It's like, wow, really? So as for the roll cage, we could put like a proper full roll cage in there. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. It doesn't really slow it down at all. It's crazy. So let's go for here. Drivetrain upgrades. See where we get to once we've done all these. And for the tyre compound, I could change that and make it like ridiculously powerful. Put it to S1 class if I wanted to, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is, let's have a look at making these tyres thicker at the back. There we go. And I'm not going to change the rims because I can't, because it's a preset design, but I think I'm pretty much done here. So what we got out of this was a pretty good actual car overall. So if I go to tuning now, we can go more towards acceleration, and we shall begin tuning very quickly. So I'm going to do my basic tune, and then I'll show you it very quickly. Okay, so that is all that sorted. There's my setup for this car. Pretty much done the same as always, but here we go. This is going to be something completely different. I'm assuming this thing's going to need a bit more of a tune than normal, because, well, I've never really tried to drift anything like this, and it's absolutely peeing it down. Great, that'll help. Alright, here we go. Oh my god! That I did not expect. Alright, here we go. Oh my god! No, it didn't want that. There we go. It's a little bit different, obviously, because it is a big truck still. I expect it, honestly, to kind of be a bit faster. I'm not going to lie. So what we're going to do is going to pause it and tune this car slightly more towards the acceleration. I actually really thought it was going to be a lot faster at accelerating than that. That's kind of weird. I know it's really a big van and it's not made to be drifting, but it handles a lot weirder than I expected. There we go, we're getting there. It's kind of kicks in a bit later on than normal, but it still wants to. Though I would actually really like to try when it's dry, because that's mainly when I'm going to be drifting it. It's kind of annoying that it randomly decides to rain every time I do a bloody drift build or something now. There we go, the roads have dried up a bit now. It's getting there anyway. And see if we can get this right. That was pretty good. But the road is still wet. I really want to keep trying until I get it like right when it's not wet still. It still just slides around though when it's like kind of drying, so it feels as if we're still on a wet road. I don't know if we're actually still on a wet road. It looks pretty dry to me now. But it feels as if like the car's either the road's ridiculously wet or the car just keeps pushing all its weight like that. I don't know, it's really weird. Alrighty then, we're at the docks. So I'm going to give it a go here because I think this will be a pretty cool place to see if we can get this thing to slide, because it's probably my favourite place to drift on this game. And god, it actually drifts really well here. I expected it to feel a lot heavier than this now after like driving it stock, but it now feels pretty much the same as any other car really does. It handles really well as well. He says as he spins it out. Here we go. See? It handles really well, actually. I'm really impressed with this van. Like, I know, like, you can pretty much drift anything on the game once you actually swap the engine out like we have, but it kind of... You go in kind of expecting, because it's a big heavy truck thing, you don't expect it to drift like, you know, as good as probably some of my better drift cars that I've made that I use on my own. I'm really going to be using this online now, I think. Like, say I'm going online and there's a load of people drifting around, I'm going to whip out the DHL van and start drifting in that. One thing I need to learn to do that, someone's in the comments telling me that I should try and learn in the cockpit view drifting, because I'm not as good in the cockpit, and I know some people prefer it. It gives it like a better feel and such, but I've never really been one for it on any game really. Like when it comes to drifting on games, I always switch to the rear view. It's because kind of like when you're in cockpit, when you're racing, it's more understandable. You've got to aim ahead, you've got to go for what's ahead of you, that sort of thing. But when I'm drifting, I want to see where the car is, because I have no bloody clue whatsoever. But I think I've got this car pretty sorted without like doing too much tuning. I think this is probably one of the best cars I've made for drifting. It feels like it's supposed to drift. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Though I probably explained it quite well, didn't I? I don't know. It's just a habit. Oh, it's still sliding. All right. You know what we need to do now? We need to go over to these containers over here, and we need to do a jump drift. Now, I'm going to take that jump over there and try do that. Now, this I've never really successfully managed to do. See if we can do it first time on video here. On the VHS. I'm joking. Here we go. That is the jump. That was somewhat okay. I want to get a better angle and try that again. Let's try that again. Here we go. Well, that didn't go to plan, did it? It has begun to rain at the time of me trying another go here. See if we can actually get it right this time. Please tell me we can. Here we go. Oh my god. I'm not going to be able to get it perfect, but I think that was pretty good for what we managed to do. Let's try it on this way. There we go. That was much better. And it's beginning to thunder now. I love the sound when you just hear thunder randomly. Though it's a shame the sky doesn't actually flash or anything. I've noticed that. Anyway, let me know if you want to see any other cars or stupid things drifted. There's the DHL van that is now jump drifting. So I'm kind of impressed with this. I actually kind of went in thinking it was going to be very heavy. A little bit difficult to get this thing to slide, but it's actually working quite well indeed. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining us for this video. If you want to see anything else, let me know down in the comments. Oh yes, I've never really managed to do that before, but there we go. There's a first in a DHL van. I'll see you in the next video, guys. BlackPanthaa out. Peace.